So I've been having some really good games in the Fuso recently. And I say recently simply because I haven't really played it all that often in the past. Just because I've played a lot of tier 8 plus, honestly, most of the time. And I've been kind of dabbling back into mid tiers, and this ship is one that I remembered liking back when I grinded it all like a long time ago, and anytime I've played it, but this ship feels insane at tier 6. That's really all I can say. You have some of the best armor because you still get the low tier casemate kind of style armor where your deck and upper belt is really well armored. You get 12 guns, just like a New Mexico, right? But you get that better armor, which is nice. Of course, the other thing that's crazy about this is your reload is 28 seconds base compared to, I think, 35 or 33 or 35 seconds base on New Mexico, which is crazy because you get more range with these guns as well, going out to 21 kilometers. This ship is crazy. I love it. It's a ton of fun. Sure, you're spotted from space, but that doesn't really matter at these tiers because battleships are actually pretty solid at mid tiers. Cruisers don't get heals yet, so when you do damage to a cruiser, it actually hurts them quite a bit. But I think Fuso is really strong, and I think it's a lot of fun. So if you're struggling or frustrated with tier 10 meta, Fuso's great. Now, a lot of people like to talk about how it only has 1.5 Sigma, which is the lowest Sigma value you can really get in the game on main guns. And that's true, but Fuso also gets some of the best just base dispersion values in the game, so sure, it's less likely to go towards the center, but when your dispersion circle is really small, yeah, you can just crush people regardless. So, for example, it has 225 meters of dispersion at 21.8 kilometers, right? Which is crazy. That's like getting into that battle cruiser territory. And, you know, some are wonky, but you get 12 shells. So you're going to land a lot of shells on your target, as you've seen from these clips. Now, to give you a bit more perspective, I have North Carolina pulled up, and stock North Carolina range is 21.1. So, similar range, and North Carolina is known as an accurate battleship, I would say. One of the most accurate battleships in the game. And at the same range, it has 272 meters dispersion. Okay? So, that's just the horizontal ellipse. Now, there's a vertical value in there that we don't actually know. I haven't really found a good site to get vertical dispersion values. I had one, and then I think I lost the site, but regardless, the horizontal dispersion is still very good. And sure, North Carolina gets 2.0 Sigma, which means most of the shells are more likely to go to the center of your crosshair, but I mean, 1.5 Sigma doesn't really matter when you have really, really strong base dispersion values. And getting a 28-second reload on 12 guns is something that I don't think would happen if this ship was released today. We've seen ships like Kansas, Minnesota, and Vermont getting released here, and they have 40-second reloads. There's Florida at tier 7 with a 33-second reload, I believe. I actually don't know. 33, I think. Wargaming is very hesitant to put a ship in the game with 12 guns with a fast reload. Unless they're smaller caliber shells, like a Bourgogne or something like that. But at these tiers, Fuso still overmatches stuff. It still claps cruisers very easily. So, yeah, I think this ship would not be printed how it currently is if Wargaming were to remake this ship. But I'm glad it's in the game because it's a ton of fun. Sure, you get ships like Warspite that have 380s with very good accuracy and dispersion as well, but they don't have the armor to tank as well as this ship does. Same with ships like Arizona. You get the same caliber of guns, but they're more accurate. But you don't have that armor. And that's the real issue with these mid-tier battleships a lot of the time, is you just get overmatched or penned by HE everywhere. And Fuso doesn't have that issue. This ship is tons of fun. Tons and tons and tons and tons of fun. So I know I'm going on and on about how much fun I have in this ship, and I haven't really talked about how to play it, but the base ship is just hilariously fun. So playing it, it's basically a mid-range battleship. You don't really want to get too close because your citadel is hittable. You do have a kind of a turtleback, but it's not a good one. It's not a German one, really. So you got to be careful. You want to stay angled all the time. In higher tiers, you might want to shoot HE a little bit at some ships that you like angled battleships, for example, because you have a decent enough reload that you can make that work. Really, you're trying to save your health for the later parts of the game when you can just really push in and crush a team. Fuso on 50k HP like I am now is really difficult to deal with unless you have a torpedo boat that can dump torps into it and get a good strike off. But with your massive amounts of range at tier 6 and decent enough dispersion, you can sometimes hit things pretty hard at long range. And I think the nice thing about that is you're just always a threat, no matter where you are. You can see my my range on the mini-map right now pretty much covers the entire map. And that's without spotter plane or a range mod if there's not an option for range mod. But it's nice. I think the issues with this ship, sometimes it takes weird pens at these angles, just the way the casemate is modeled. Some of these, there's little cracks and crevices that you'd think it should auto bounce, but it's actually not angled at all to people when you're at these sharper angles. Your bow and stern are overmatchable, so you have to keep that in mind. So you really want to bait people into shooting your broadside armor. And really, it's all about playing with your team with this ship. You're really bad against destroyers, obviously. Most mid-tier battleships are. You're relatively big and slow, and DDs at these tiers, well, they don't have the most amazing torpedoes. They don't have radar to worry about, right? There you can see the accuracy. I only needed one to kill him, but it's kind of nuts that dispersion there. So this ship is good, very good. And if you haven't played it in a while, I would suggest you do. This was a cracking game here. I've been having amazing games in this. The next game I want to show you is less about the Fuso, though. It's more about what to do when you have to deal with a team that just sucks. Like, how do you carry? Because mid-tiers are often, there's newer players here, so they don't know what to do. They lemming train more. They play more passive because they don't know really where to push or when to push or what to do. Destroyers don't scout as much. All these things lead to games that sometimes you have to really carry out. And the best way to do that is to really just force the issue. And the Fuso can do that when it's top tier. You can't really do it against against tier 7s and 8s as much. This game we're fortunate to not really face too many. There's like 1 or 2 tier 7s, so not bad. But as you can see from the map, we're starting to lemming train here really hard. And in standard mode, that's really dangerous because, well, the enemy team just gets a free look into your base and then they just cap out. And this will be a cap out game, spoiler alert. So I see this happening, and I have 2 choices here, right? I could decide to go back to defend the base, or I could force a push. And for me, I think I was a little bit frustrated at this point with teams sitting back and camping, so I just decided to full send it into here, you know. We don't have any DDs to deal with, which is, you know, fortunate for me. But you can see a lot of the HE gets shattered on this ship. A lot of sap gets shattered. If you give broadside, of course, AP will hurt, but the ship is difficult to deal with. And that's why I recommend, later on you'll see in my build, we take a lot of fire suppression stuff because it's not the raw pen damage that's going to kill you necessarily. It's really the dot damage and fires that kill this ship fast. So you want to keep those under control. You can see here on the map how me pushing in and really not losing too much health has inspired a lot of my teammates to come in here with me. And really good is that our Surrey is pushing around the flank as well. He's pushing just as hard as I am, and really that's kind of what you need, is you need 1 or 2 people to really push with you on a slightly different angle, even if they're a cruiser, to give the enemy team a little bit of different angles to worry about. But here it's nice because I can actually push into these cruisers without getting burnt down instantly. At tier 10, if I tried this in a Yamato, for example, I would just die. Like, I would be on less than half HP at this point, and probably on a couple permanent fires and done. So that's kind of why I like mid-tier more, is you can have games like this one. You can see the enemy team is starting to push towards our base at this point, but they're actually not doing it as fast as I would have thought they would be. I thought more of their team would have been up where that Fiji is on the map. As you can see, you hit some citadels, this ship's devastating. The reload is really what makes this ship amazing. Probably a 30-second reload would make more sense from a balancing perspective, considering this thing has armor, good accuracy, bad Sigma, but good dispersion. But you're basically always loaded with this thing whenever you want to shoot at something, which is really, really nice. So we're going to keep pushing, but we have to be a little bit careful here. I don't really want to rush into a Nuremberg that'll tort me, and, you know, these cruisers spamming me from behind these islands back here. I'm just kind of waiting for my team. I just used a heal, so that's another reason I'm kind of slowing things down a little bit. I want to make sure I get to my next heal, because you can see my next heal's ready as far as the amount of health I can heal back with that heal. That little mod there in the bottom left corner telling me that I can heal 9,500 out of 9,500. So you always want to make sure you can get through your heals when you're in a battleship and you're trying to push in and do things. Because if you just YOLO push, you likely won't be able to use all of your health available to you. You'll die before you get there. So Nuremberg makes a mistake. It's a Nuremberg, so we probably would have killed him regardless if my team hadn't really hit him that hard. But very nice. Get our first kill of the game. 80,000 damage already, by the way. It goes fast with this ship. It really, really does. I like it a lot. Nice little torpedo B. We got lucky he widespread. I don't know why. Why on earth he would widespread. Here I should really be focusing the Fiji, not the New Mexico. If you're paying attention to the map, he's the closest to our cap, and as you can see, we have literally nothing there. We're down on ships as well, so essentially this is looking like GG for me. So I know we need to push hard. We need to try and kill the 2 cruisers left near their base and try and push the other last couple cruisers away so that, you know, maybe we can cap things. But that's highly unlikely. Highly unlikely, as their team has a free shot to our base, and we have to kill stuff before we can get into their base. So that's why today I focused the Fiji, because he's closest to our cap. But because I pushed in like I did at the beginning, you can see my team still has quite a bit of health, at least the ones that are in front of me right now. And they kind of got inspired, I think, to push in. I don't know. Maybe I just got lucky with some teammates who decided, yeah, you know what, I'll push today. That doesn't always happen, but it's certainly nice when it does, and you have teammates that want to push in. Just missed the Mayoko there. That could have been a nice hit. Nice little devastating strike, but still, 90,000 damage. We'll take it. We got a Confederate already. Pensacola. This ship should pop. I'm not actually remember if I kill him here. No, I do not. You know, it's a battleship still. It's a battleship. You can't... It'd be nice if you citadeled every time, but, I mean, RNG says no a lot. So, You can see the enemy team is basically at our base now. Our ranger is helping us with these cruisers, which is nice, I guess. Spotting the Emil is good, but hopefully he knows to go reset the cap once they're in the cap, the enemy team. There we go, we get our Citadel. Very nice. But now he turns away before spotting the Emil. We had an interesting team this one. You'll see it at the end. But right now I'm thinking I need to get on this cap right now if we want to hope to win. There's no way if I turn around right now that we'll win. There's zero chance. This is a we have to cap out before they cap out situation. They have way more ships. If we try and push into that to reset them, we're just going to die. So our story's in the cap already, which is good. As you know, it takes forever to cap out in this standard format, which is good. I wouldn't want it to cap out very quickly. You can even Citadel in New York at 20 kilometers, which is crazy. Queen Elizabeth slaps us a little bit. Bit of an oversight from me, just sitting flat broadside to him, really. You know, the ship gets punished a little bit. Trying to push the Kirov away as much as possible. And now we we have a cap situation. So here, essentially what you're trying to do is you're hoping your CV has the presence of mind to just go in and keep resetting. Go in and keep resetting, keep resetting, keep resetting. And you hope the enemy CV doesn't do that, essentially. But this is where the nice part about the Fuso comes in with our range. We'll actually be able to get some resets in here. Unfortunately, the enemy team decided not to all go into our cap. Because if this Fiji and Queen Elizabeth had gone in with the Nagato and New York, it would have been game over for sure. So really, this is, I think, a good example of in mid-tiers, you can push more. Don't take this as something you can do in tier 10, because oftentimes you'll just die in tier 10. The DPM is just that much higher, and you won't be able to kill cruisers nearly as quickly just because they have heals and better armor at higher tiers. So this is something you can really only do in mid-tier kind of areas. But if you're someone who likes to play mid-tier, maybe consider trying to push a little bit more in your battleships, because it can work. You see, we've gone through nearly all of our heals at this point. I don't know how we didn't hit that guy. We hit literally all around him. And double fire means, triple fire means we need to damage combat. I actually only have, I think, a 10-point captain on this, so it's not even fully decked out for all the fire suppression stuff. So I could be even tankier yet than I am right now. Unfortunately, our Surrey gets reset. He was the one holding all the cap points, so now it's tricky because they're way ahead on the cap, and this Emil Bertin basically saved the game for them. And, well, now that he's dead, hopefully we can, hopefully the that Kirov, I think, stays away. But now we get to use our insane range. That's 25 kilometers. And you see, I'm not actually going for damage here. I'm just spreading my shots around, trying to get a hit. All I'm looking for are resets at this point. Our CV is nowhere close, and it's game over if I don't hit these shots, essentially. Fortunately, we do. And then Nagato had all the points, so a couple hits and a bit of damage is enough to basically reset all their progress. And any other tier 6 battleship would not have been able to do that. I think it's basically game over anyway, so I'm not too happy about that Kirov leaving. Our friendly guy could have just stayed in the cap with us, and maybe we would have capped out. See, I'm going to try and reset the Nagato again, and also get the New York reset possibly, while my plane is still up. It's really funny games like this where both teams let their cap go. Hit the Nagato again. Unfortunately, we didn't get a base reset. I think it reset their progress slightly, but not actually too much. But yeah, Fuso. This ship's fun. And mid-tiers, you get the opportunity to have games like this where it's really close. I was having a lot of fun this game. I mean, I wasn't happy with the Kirov, obviously, but close games like this, where you have to really, 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 really try hard to win, are this is the funnest part of the game. We mispositioned horribly, letting the enemy team into our base. They mispositioned horribly, letting us into the base, and it's just a fight to see who caps out first. And as you can see, well, the CV's not going to make it in time, and we actually end up winning this game. Despite being way down on ships and positioning, they let 2 ships cap out the base. So, pretty hilarious games like this. This wasn't as much of a Fuso game. This is more of a... This is just fun mid-tier stuff. I really enjoy this stuff. And pretty solid 130k damage. And as you can see, we didn't really have much of a team. It was me and the Surrey that really did stuff this game. But sometimes that's all you need is like 2 versus 12. You know, you can pull it off. So yeah, let's hop into the live game so I can show you a more reasonable expectation of this ship, and we'll go from there. All right, welcome to the live game. So Fuso sometimes gets this just like incredibly lucky matchmaker where you just get to see tier 6s and 5s. I think that's just down to tier 8s often seeing tier 10s, and tier 9, well, they obviously can't see you, and tier 9 is one of the most popular tiers right now, so tier 7s get pulled up into tier 9 games. So this won't happen every game. Obviously sometimes you're going to be facing the tier 8s of the world, and obviously you're going to struggle there, like a Massachusetts or North Carolina, Bismarck. All these ships are very, very good compared to you, but if you catch them broadside, honestly, you have 12 guns. They have enough pen to go through, so they do have to be careful of you. So, but onto this game, there's a ton of battleships, so we could have some fun brawling. I'm just going to go to the left side here. Realistically, going to B is just, despite spawning in the middle, going to B is not a very good option just because of how open it is, and how everybody from here and here can just all shoot at you as you cross. So, but the nice thing about Fuso is you get insane range, so you can just be shooting like from the start of the game. And like I said, decent dispersion. Wow, I way underled that. I always forget how fast Normandies are. Now I got a hit. Okay, I'll bounce. So I basically am hoping this Minakaze stays alive. And you can see there's 2 destroyers, and they're both here. So I want to be able to support both of them. That's essentially what I'm trying to do. Alright, let's try again for the Normandy. See what happens. I'm debating pushing here, actually. Between these 2 islands is a really, really nice push. I actually love the design of this. There we go, we got hit. Because if you push here, this island keeps you safe from guys sniping out here. This island keeps you guys from sniping up here. You're realistically only vulnerable to people kind of sniping through these islands. And it lets you get a very advanced position to help your team. I actually really like this design. And I wish more maps were designed in with areas you can push reasonably reliably. Now, I don't think I'm going to push right away, but I'm here just in case, you know? There's a possible push out here. Should I be shooting at? I guess Normandy again. You want to shoot on cooldown as much as you can with this ship, just because it's got such a fast reload. The DPM's kind of insane. At least for battleship standards. And you can see we overmatch his nose. If that CV stays spotted, we will definitely be shooting him. In fact, we're going to stop so our vision doesn't really reset, and hopefully aim right for the smokestack. There, we got that one locked on, which is nice. And we're actually going to stay sitting here because we have our aim all lined up perfectly, so if he doesn't move, we could shoot him again, potentially. There we go. Big old hit. Feels good, man. We're angled to the battleships, which is good. Exactly what we want. We'll shoot one more to see if he moved. And if these hit, we'll just keep shooting where we are aimed right now. If they don't, then we'll move on to, say, New Mexico or Normandy. It was missed in a weird way, but I think he probably moved. So, we'll move on. That's fine. I'm actually going to shoot Normandy since he's lower. I think he's going to come forward, so we'll shoot just in front of him. Trying to hit his nose. West Virginia's with us, pushing, so I mean, if I see a battleship pushing, I'm pushing up too. Our DDs essentially pushed their T-61 back. Although he's probably going to die, so we want to support that. Our Kirov's nowhere to be found, so we want to help that guy as much as we possibly can. It's tricky in these games without very many cruisers because you're looking for broadside battleships, not cruisers. When you see a lot of cruisers, you just essentially always want to shoot at cruisers. That's essentially your goal. I should probably shoot at Koenig to try and get him out first, actually. 8k, it's a good hit. Our Warspite's dead, so this is why you don't want to push mid, because you're just going to get shot at by everybody up here. It's kind of like a horseshoe, just all around really, really bad. This guy, we're going to be aiming using our map, right? Because we want to make sure we line that up properly. Wait until we have no island hit indicator. Then we shoot. Should be a good hit for him. We'll see if the Dunkirk gets him first. The goal is to just kill him. Dunkirk doesn't, so we should finish him. Very good. And as you can see, pushing with 2 battleships is really, really beneficial for our team because we're getting all these crossfires on people. Sure, the CV will come after us, but 2 battleships together might be a little bit difficult for the CV to deal with. Maybe. I'm not super confident on that one. Just shooting on cooldown at the Warspite. He's angled, but unlikely we're going to do anything. I'm going to tell our West Virginia to get back because, well, obviously this T-61 torped. I think that most people could understand that. The nice thing about here is we've got this little island that we can use to keep ourselves safe from torpedoes. Unfortunately, well, it is tier 6, so fair enough, right? So this guy's dead, so we have to make sure we don't overcommit now. So we're just going to keep using this island here. That was a really good hit, actually. We're just going to back off and make sure we keep an eye on this New Mexico or Normandy if they come around. We just don't want to get hit in the broadside by those people, essentially. We're in a good spot. Our teams are pretty even, but they're the ones going to have to push into us. So that's very good. Hopefully our Minikaze isn't going to YOLO this Normandy. That would really suck. Wow, another 11k. This ship is nuts sometimes. Like, the damage. Like, we're already at 64k, you know? It's tier 6. I think I will be getting ready to shoot this T-61. Just because our Gepard is going in, and that T-61 will win that fight. Yeah, there he is. I was just looking at the map to see where that was. There you go, 7k. That might allow our Gepard to win that. It's possible. At least they should trade. At worst, I hope. Come on, dude. Just like one more hit. We'll blind fire. I think he's out of his smoke, actually. He is! Ah! Shoot! Shoot, Gepard! Shoot! Come on. Oh, he missed, unfortunate. So we have to back off now, because obviously the enemy team holds the advantage right now. I think he's turning like this. Try a shot there. I'm gonna take some pain. Do need to angle. Oh, feels good, man. Feels good, man. Well, alright, are we gonna get some accusations in chat now? That'd be funny. Alright, now we're gonna try and finish the war spite because he's the bigger threat. We can at least angle to the New Mexico. Actually, HE's really a big threat to me. Because of that. Fire, fire, fire. And we don't have fire prevention because I actually do only have a 10-point commander on this thing. 14 points would be ideal, I think, for this ship with fire prevention. That's really, really, really good for me. Holy crap, I did not expect to kill him there. Wow. Okay. I think we'll shoot the cruiser, probably. That's good that that shattered and relatively missed. Yeah, we'll shoot this guy. Turn? No. That might be a little too far left. Just keep backing off. Just keep backing off, it's fine. We don't have to fight them yet. In fact, I think we'll just chill here. Get our heal going. And then we'll shoot the New Mexico when we have the chance. In fact, we'll use our plane for easier vision. You don't always have to use your plane for range. It's often better to just use it for vision. Good hit again. And as you can see, I'm using this island to keep myself safe from these two, right? I'm just trying to 1v1 this New Mexico right now. Is essentially what we're going for. It's really important at these tiers because just the way the damage works out, it's way more painful to get shot at by multiple ships than just one. Now I know at other tiers that's the same, but at tiers where the damage per minute is a lot less, it's more about how many people do you have shooting at each other than one ship soloing you. You know, like at tier 10, a Wooster can just solo you. Whereas, whatever this thing is, probably would have a tough time soloing me. But if there's all three of them shooting at me, that's going to hurt a lot more. It's actually really nice this guy switched to HE, or switch back to AP. That's so nice for me, because you can see we can just bounce it. Now, I wouldn't be angled like this if I was against a North Carolina, because I think NC shells could probably get through my my angle like this, but New Mexico, not so much. Not so much. That's 4 kills already, okay. This is not scripted, alright? This is literally just a live game, okay? Don't think... Oh, man. Oh, please tell me that got over. No, these didn't. This one did. 2 citadels, please. Give me 2. Oh, baby. That would have been a sick Kraken to catch there. Saying we just pop out to make sure that the essentially Congo is in a crossfire. Hopefully we can catch our Kraken here. Oh, I way overled that. Oh, that's so sad. That's so sad. Our New York should just be chilling. I don't know why he's like full sending it in, but still a very close game. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna need to kill that guy there, hopefully. Yeah, that should get him. Good stuff. And now we angle to the Congo, the Weeb Congo. Actually, he's shooting at the Kirov. We might get a really good slap in here. Alright, please game. Please! Oh, get out. Get out! Give me at least a citadel there. My goal is to not get rammed right now. And now you might be thinking, well, he's at 8 kilometers, but he's going to eventually notice I'm here and think, oh, I should just ram him to win. That sucks that we didn't get a Citadel, man. That really does. Really could have used that damage on him. HE Gamer, okay. That's fine. Should get some over. Yes! That's what we needed. Okay, we're good. We good. Alright, I think we got this. 167k. Okay, so not every game's like... I wanted to show a more usual game... Okay, dude. I promise not every game is like this. I promise, dude. Alright, we'll push up now. Taking a ram in... I know I shouldn't be that concerned about a ram at those ranges, but in situations like this, if I decided to push, you know, he very easily could have got a ram off. Or if I had to avoid a ram at close range, I give him full broadside, and then he could kill me. It's unlikely. It's possible, though. It is possible. Now, let's see where he goes. He might have turned this way. I feel like he has to turn for the cap, though. Because we win in 3 minutes. So... No, he did turn away. Interesting. Alright. Well, whatever. I'm down. That is the losing play. I mean, they probably lose anyway, but... If he would have kited me out and gotten into the cap, stalled the points, their ranger would have to kill the Kirov. Like there's a lot of things that have to go right, but it's all these little miniature plays that help you win the game. A 6th kill would be pretty nice. That would make a nice little end to the YouTube video, I think. I will go over the captain that I want after this, though, guys. Don't you worry. So I think we'll just chill here, actually. Again, whoever is pushing out from behind an island is at a disadvantage. Just because you're leading, you're always leading ahead of a target, right? So I'm at a very large advantage here. Can stay angled, all these good things. All these good things. We saved our spotter plane for this exact scenario when, you know, our CV wasn't around to spot for us. Push C to move to your back turret view so you can see a little better. He did not even have AP loaded. Okay. Hopefully we're loaded before the CV gets here. Ooh, hopefully the Kirov... I shouldn't say that, but hopefully the Kirov dies. I'd love to kill the CV yet. Good stuff, dude. 6 kills? Can we get a 7th? Little 7-kill game here? See, man, this ship's just good, dude. Oh, it's so fun. Now, do we blind fire? Probably not, actually. The Kirov should spot him in a second. Unless the CV went forward. I should keep pushing just in case we actually don't end up getting vision in 30 seconds. Because as soon as my plane runs out, my range will come to like here probably. So I need to keep pushing in. Oh no, the time's ticking out! Oh man, I should have looked. Actually, my shells probably wouldn't have got there anyway if I had shot right away anyway. And I think he would have pushed behind the island otherwise. The Kirov probably would have had him lit. Not a disappointing result still. Just fun to get the carrier always. It's a little sad that they get to live every game just because of the way that their class is designed. 2.7k base. Yeah. Fuso's good, man. Give it a try if you haven't already, man. If you're at tier 10 and you're getting frustrated, this is Ooh, sometimes you get these games. There we go. Even got my 11th captain point. So here's how I set it up. I would not take this, actually. I've changed my mind. This is a very old captain. I would take expert loader first, so you can fast switch to HE. Very handy for being in tier 8 or shooting at destroyers. Just better. And then you take adrenaline rush, superintendent, and concealment. Pretty standard. You could even go for fire prevention before concealment, because you're still just spotted from the moon, right? Like 16.5 with concealment experts. So you could probably take fire prevention first, but it's these two you want to get as soon as you can. Then basics is survivability, and then I would actually take expert marksman. Extra turret traverse would be nice, just to move your turrets around your ship. Very good, very good. And then I take main armaments to keep the main guns alive. Nothing else here would really be that useful. Damage control system, because you never lose your engine. And aiming systems, because none of these are that useful. I could see an argument for main battery mod too now that it doesn't nerf your reload. But I really think just getting these guns even more accurate is that it's just good. Like I said, it's like 215 or whatever. Sorry, 225 meters dispersion, which is really, really good. And then here, I take damage control because fire is often the problem with this ship, taking fire damage. You already have 14.9 second rudder shift, which is good enough. These mid-tier battleships are decently maneuverable. So that's how I'd set this thing up. Yeah. In closing, it's fun. It's fun. So thanks for watching, guys, and I hope you have a good day.